Okay, so good afternoon and welcome to lecture number 13. And in this lecture, we'll be talking about the rotational mechanical system. So actually in earlier lecture, we talked about translational mechanical system. And then we have studied how to obtain the mathematical model of different elements. Like in translational mechanical system, there were three basic elements. One was mass element, another one was dashpot, and the third one was basically a spring element. And then these basic elements are used for designing the mechanical system. And after that, we have seen, okay, how to obtain the mathematical model of individual component, and then when they are connected in series, parallel, and then various combination, and then how to find out the overall transfer function in that system. Now, in today's lecture, we'll be talking about the rotational mechanical system. So, as I told you that there are two types of mechanical system. One is translational mechanical system where motion is linear, okay, and then in rotational mechanical system, okay, it's an angular motion and so on. So objects are rotating around its own axis and so on. As we have studied in electrical system, there are three basic elements. One is resistance, another one is capacitor, and third one is inductor. In rotational mechanical system, in translational mechanical system, again there are three basic elements. One is mass, then another one is dashpot, and third one is spring element with which we can design the various control systems. Similarly, in the rotational mechanical system, okay, there are three basic elements. So we'll see which are those basic elements, and then we'll see how to obtain the mathematical model of individual elements, and then okay, how to obtain the overall this one transfer function of rotational mechanical system and so on. So here, see that. So, for example, again, there are three elements, like as a rotational spring is there, okay, and basic elements of rotational mechanical systems are again spring, and then inertia element, and then another one is the dashpot element, okay. But only thing is that it's okay, motion is around its own axis instead of it is in okay, the displacement is in the straight path or curved path. It will be rotating around its own axis and so on. So see that here, the spring elements, you might have seen that this kind of the spring elements which, okay, either in the bicycle or in the motor vehicle, and several places these elements are used, which get twisted, okay. So there will be rotational movement, and then so you know that displacement in the case of this one linear or a translation mechanical system is represented by x, so which is linear displacement, whereas in mechanical system or rotational mechanical system, this will be the angular displacement. So instead of linear displacement, here it will be angular displacement, and this angular displacement is given by okay, a symbol like as a theta. So at this okay, if we consider this as a theta1 as an angular displacement at this point, and then theta2 as angular displacement at this point. So you know that when you apply, see, in case of this one translational mechanical system, force was the there. So whereas in case of rotational mechanical system, there will be torque, right? See that. In case of rotational mechanical system, there is a torque. In case of translational mechanical system, there will be a force, okay. In case of rotational mechanical system, angular displacement is represented by theta, whereas this one, in case of translational mechanical system, angular displacement was represented by x, okay. So see that means basically this one. Like for example, if we compare one to one this translational mechanical system and rotational mechanical system, so this is translational
Sir, your mic is off.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay. Okay, so in basically translational mechanical system, if you see the one-to-one difference between translational mechanical system and rotational mechanical system, uh, here your motion is basically linear motion, whereas here it is angular. Okay. Second one is, okay, in a translational mechanical system, we apply force. Okay. So force will be one parameter. Whereas in case of rotational mechanical system, to get the rotation, okay, you have to have the torque. So equivalent to this force, there is a torque. Okay. So torque is there. Okay. So this force is basically is represented by F. Okay. Whereas this torque is represented by T. Then third thing is that in case of your linear or translational system, okay, your displacement is represented as x, whereas in case of rotational mechanical system, okay, it will be rotating along its own axis. So angular displacement will be there. So this will be angular displacement, okay, and which is represented by theta, right? Similarly, you know that in case of this one, translational mechanical system, there are three basic elements. One is, okay, mass. Second one is this one, dashpot. And third one is spring element. Okay, in the same way, in case of rotational mechanical system, there are three basic elements. One is moment of inertia. Another one is, okay, a rotational, or this is also called as the dashpot. Okay. And third one is a rotational spring. Okay. So you know that here, in case of translation mechanical system, mass element is there, spring element is there, or first we'll see dashpot element is there, which is having coefficient equal to B, and spring is having coefficient equal to K. So M is mass coefficient, B is spring dashpot coefficient, and K is the spring coefficient. Here, in case of rotational mechanical system, Okay, there are, okay, moment of inertia is given by Z. Then angular or this one dashpot, this is also called as the dashpot, so which is represented as B, and then K, so ZBK will be there. And you know that in case of translational mechanical system, if you see the mathematical model of simple spring element, so when you apply a force on this spring, there will be opposite force offered by the spring. Okay, and the spring force Fk is directly proportional to the displacement. Here, displacement is x in case of translational mechanical system, whereas when a rotational spring is there, when you apply a twisting force or a torque on that one, then there will be opposite force offered by this spring element, and that, okay, opposite force offered by the spring element, rotational spring, is direct proportional to the angular displacement. So it is similar, just only thing is that here in case of translational mechanical system there will be a linear displacement, whereas in case of rotational mechanical system there will be angular displacement. Then this one, similarly you have dashpot element whose this one reactive force is directly proportional to the velocity. In the case of this one, okay, translational mechanical system, velocity is represented by V, okay, whereas, and this velocity is nothing but dx by dt, so which is nothing but derivative of displacement. Whereas in case of rotational mechanical system, there will be angular velocity, which is represented by omega, and this is equal to what? D theta by dt. Okay, so d theta by dt will be the angular displacement, or basically angular velocity in this case. And this means basically your dashpot will be offering a force, reactive force, which is directly proportional to the angular velocity. It's same just like as a translational mechanical system. And then sixth one is basically, you know that when you apply force on the mass, in case of translational mechanical system, reactive force offered by this mass element is directly proportional to the acceleration, right? And this acceleration, you know that acceleration in this case is given by A, which is equal to d2x of t by dt square, right? In case of linear or translational mechanical system, whereas here angular displacement is what? So that is nothing but d2 theta by dt square, right? Dt square. So that will be the angular displacement. So that will be the torque, okay, reactive torque offered by moment of inertia and so on, right? So this is one-to-one difference between rotational mechanical system and translational mechanical system. So see that here I have taken first this one spring element, rotational spring element, where there are two ends. One is theta one end and another one is theta two. So when you apply a torque on that one, so there will be opposite torque offered by the spring element, and this torque is directly proportional to the displacement. So displacement, what is the displacement between, or angular displacement? So that will be equal to theta 1 minus theta 2, right? So theta 1 minus theta 2. So mathematical model of this spring element T is equal to K into theta 1 by theta 1 minus theta 2, where K is the spring constant. Similarly, okay, so this is rotational spring basically. And then you might have seen, see, this is the angular, or this one rotational dashpot or something like that, so which will both basically rotate along its own axis. So this will rotate along its own axis. So you might have seen this one in the motor also, and so on. So if this is one end of that this one rotational damper or dashpot, so the theta 1 will be the displacement at this end, and theta 2 is the displacement at this end. And if you apply torque on this end, okay, then opposite torque offered by this rotational damper will be equal to what? Directly proportional to the angular velocity. So angular velocity is nothing but theta 1 dot minus theta 2 dot, because this is difference between that angular velocity. So theta 1 dot is nothing but the angular velocity, theta 1 is the angular displacement. So T, rotational torque offered by this rotational damper or dashpot is given by or it is directly proportional to the angular velocity. So that's why it is written as theta 1 dot minus theta 2. Whereas you might have seen here in case of this one spring element, what was this torque offered by the spring element, which is directly proportional to the angular displacement, and angular displacement for this two end is equal to theta 1 minus theta 2, right? So T is equal to K into theta 1 minus theta 2 is the mathematical model of spring element, rotational spring element, whereas in case of rotational dashpot or damper, this torque offered by this dashpot or damper is directly proportional to the velocity, angular velocity, so theta 1 minus theta 2. Okay, so it is just similar to the translation mechanical system. Only thing is that you have to use the rotational terms. Then see that the last element of rotational mechanical system is nothing but the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia coefficient is given by J. Okay, and when you apply torque on this one, so definitely there will be opposite torque offered by this moment of inertia, and which is directly proportional to the acceleration. So theta 2 double dot is nothing but the acceleration, and proportionality constant is nothing but the J, that is constant of moment of inertia term. I hope that you have understood this one. See that in case of translational mechanical system, what was this one? This was F is equal to M into D d2x of t by dt square, whereas what is this one? T is equal to J into d2 theta by dt square. So it is very similar to the translation mechanical system. Only thing is that you have to use the terms of rotational mechanical system. Okay, I hope that you have understood this one, the concept of rotational mechanical system. Three basic elements: one is moment of inertia, another one is a rotational damper, and third one is the rotational spring. Okay, have you understood the this one, the mathematical model of this one? Then after that we will connect these rotational elements, and then we can find out the overall mathematical model. So let me ask you whether you have understood or not. Yes, please. Anybody is having any doubt? Yes, please. Have you understood this one?
Understand, sir.
Huh? Yes.
Understand, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, very good. So then we'll go ahead with the next part. And okay, so like for example, you take this example where this rotational spring is connected, one end of rotational spring is connected to the this one, or before that, just I'll take a simple example and how to find out the this one transfer function of simple rotational mechanical system, and then after that we'll come to this. Okay, so okay, now so for example, I have this system like this, okay, where one end of this spring is or damper is connected here, or instead of damper I'll use this moment of inertia term J, and then another end of this one is connected to the rotational damper. Okay, I'll consider this as a B. Okay, and then one end of this is connected to the rotational spring. Okay, and then this torque is applied on this one. So this is the torque, applied torque. Okay, and so for example, this is having coefficient equal to K. Okay, now when you apply a torque in upward direction, there will be opposite torque offered by this spring element as well as this dashpot element B as well as this moment of inertia.
So this torque equilibrium equation, so what is the torque offered by this one? So which will be equal to Tj. What will be torque offered by this one? That will be equal to Tb. What will the torque offered by this one? That is equal to Tk. Now, so applied torque is equal to, so T is equal to what? T is equal to Tj, okay, plus Tb plus Tk. That is, applied torque is equal to opposite torque offered by these basic elements, right? Now, what is this torque of Tj? Tj, you know that Tj is equal to, suppose for example, angular displacement is theta. So this is given by J into d2 theta t by dt square. Okay, so this is the mathematical model of moment of inertia element. Then what is this Tb? So basically it is directly proportional to the velocity. So proportionality constant is b into d theta t by dt, right? Then so this will be basically Tb, right? This is Tj. Then what is the torque offered by this spring element or rotational spring element, which is directly proportional to the angular displacement, and proportionality constant is the constant of spring, that is k into theta, because one end, okay, theta of t, right? And this is nothing but t, okay, or t of t, torque in time domain. If you take basically a Laplace transform both side, okay, Laplace transform both side. So what will be the Laplace transform both side? So T of S is equal to J into, what is the Laplace transform of d2 by dt square? That is equal to S square. What is Laplace transform of theta t? That is theta of S, plus B will be as it is. What is the Laplace transform of this one? D by dt, that is equal to S, and then d theta S will be there, plus k into theta of S. Now what is this? Basically input is applied torque, and what is the output? Output is the angular displacement. So theta S is the output, and this one input is torque T of S. And you know that when you are finding the transfer function is nothing but Laplace transform of output variable. It is the ratio of Laplace transform of output variable to the Laplace transform of input variable. So what you have to find? You have to find out theta S by theta of S by T of S. Okay, so theta of S by T of S will be equal to what? So that is equal to 1 upon S square J plus BS, okay, plus K. So this will be the overall transfer function of given system. Okay, so how you have obtained? See that this is the applied torque, and then applied torque is equal to opposite torque. So there will be opposite torque offered by this inertia element, then this rotational damper, and then spring. So this torque offered by this will be Tj, and torque offered by this dashpot element will be equal to Tb, torque offered by this spring element will be equal to Tk. We know how to obtain Tj, Tb, and Tk individually. So that is equal to J into d2 theta t by dt square plus B into d theta by dt plus k into d theta of t. Now, after that, what we have taken? We have just taken the Laplace transform this one. So this is the Laplace transform equation by assuming zero initial condition. And you know that the transfer function is given by Laplace transform output variable to the Laplace transform input variable, where here theta of S is the output and T of S is the input. So just we found theta of S, if you take theta of S common here, so inside this one, there will be S square J plus B of S plus K will be there. And if you take to the left side or like this one, so theta of S by T of S will be equal to 1 upon S square J plus B of BS plus K. So this will be the transfer function of this rotational mechanical system. Okay, I hope that you have understood this simple problem. Okay, when this moment of inertia and then rotational dashpot and spring element, if it is connected in this one series, And if you apply a torque on that one, so that it will start rotating, but at that time it will be offering the reactive torque. So applied torque must be equal to reactive torque. That is called as the torque equilibrium equation. And then we wrote the torque equilibrium equation, that is equal to T is equal to Tj plus Tb plus Tk. And then after that we wrote all those things, find out, okay, then after that we have found the this one overall transfer function and so on. Right now, see that this example, there are, instead of one moment of inertia, or okay, instead of one spring, there are springs, two springs are connected, and two these are connected, moment of inertias are connected, and torque is here. So this is theta1, this is k1, this is a displacement, angular displacement at theta2, then this is j1, and then this angular friction is there, which is equal to B1, and then theta2, J2 is there, and then theta3, and then K2, and then after that it is okay connected to the reference element. Now, when you like to, just like as a translational mechanical system, you can also draw the nodal diagram of this one. Rotational mechanical system. In case of nodal diagram, what you have to do, you have to take number of nodes equal to number of displacement point. And now, how many displacement points are there? One theta1, theta2, and theta3. So theta1 is one node, theta2 is another node, and theta3 is third node. Now, between theta1 and a ground, what is there? That is torque. So this element is connected. Between theta1 and theta2, which element is connected? That is spring element K1. So theta1 and theta2 spring is connected. Then theta2, and see that always this J1, one end of J1 and mass also, one end will be connected to the nearest displacement point. So theta2, and then other end of this J1 will be connected to the reference. Then between theta1 and theta2 and theta3, what is there? So that will be the frictional element. So B1 is represented as a frictional element, and frictional element is just like as a dashpot or damper element. So that's why it is represented as B1. Then theta3. Okay, so J2, nearest displacement point is theta3. So one end of J2 is connected to the this one theta3, and then another is connected to the reference one, and then one end of the spring element K2 is connected to theta3, and then another one is connected to the reference. So this is the nodal diagram of given example of rotational mechanical system. Now you can apply nodal equation here, that is in total incoming torque must be equal to total outgoing torque, as well as at theta2 and theta3, and then you can find, as usual, transfer function and so on. See, similarly, this example, okay, instead of spring, we have taken another this one dashpot element. So your diagram will be changed, and see that diagram, rest of the things are same, so it will be same. Only thing is that what is changed here, they have changed once frictional force is here between J1 and reference, as well as between J1 and J2 another frictional force is there, J2 and reference there is frictional force 3. So these frictional forces are added, as well as here in earlier example there was a spring element. Now it has been connected with the dashpot element or rotational dashpot B4, so that your diagram will be just like this way. Now after that you can apply a torque equilibrium equation and so on. So for every node you can apply that one, and finally you can find out the transfer function, right? Then this is the example, third example. Now how to obtain the nodal diagram of this one and how to find out the transfer function, you can easily find out. See that this is one basically dashpot. We can call that as a B1. Then this B2 is connected between J1 and J2, and then there is also this one K1 element is there, and torque is applied here. Then J2 is there, and then theta2 is there. Okay, and K2 is between J2 and theta2, and so on, right? So if you draw the diagram of that one, it will be really easy. It's just you have to connect those components to the nearest point of displacement point, number of nodes equal to number of displacement points, and so on. Now see that here another fourth example is given, and similarly you can draw this nodal diagram for this one and so on. Okay, just for understanding purpose, I'll take how to write a this one, force equilibrium equation for this example number 2. So see that here, incoming torque is equal to what? T of T. Outgoing torque is what? So see that torque at this position must be higher than torque at this one. So K1 into theta 1 minus theta 3. So at nodal equation at this one, at theta 1 will be equal to T of T is equal to K1 into theta 1 minus theta 2. So this will be the nodal equation or force equilibrium equation at node 1. Then at node 2, what will be the equation? Total incoming torque is from this side, as well as total outgoing torque is this one, and then total outgoing torque is this one, as well as this one, and so on, right? So what will be the total incoming torque? That is equal to K1 into theta 1 minus theta 2, whereas total outgoing torque will be equal to J1 into d2 theta 2 by dt square plus b1 theta t by dt, theta 2 t by dt. Then what is this one? For this one, okay, I think, okay, I'll just write that equation, but I'm facing problem of using this one, same, just 1 minute. Okay, so see that I'll write an equation for first one at node 1. So at node 1, what is this one? At node 1, see that at node 1, incoming torque is T of T and outgoing torque is this one. So what will the equation at node 1? So I'll just write it here. So nodal equation at theta 1 node. Okay, so what is total incoming torque? That is T of T is equal to K into theta 1 minus theta 1 of T minus theta 2 of T. So this will be the equation, nodal equation at node 1. Similarly, nodal equation at theta 2 node. Okay, so what is the theta 2 node? See that nodal equation at theta 2 node. What is this one? Theta 2 incoming node is torque is K1 into theta 1 minus theta 2, right? Outgoing is because of this J1, then because of B1, then because of B2, and because of B3, and so on, right? So here, see that what will the equation, nodal equation for this one? Incoming node, okay, incoming torque will be equal to what? Incoming torque will be equal to K into theta 1 of T minus theta 2 of T, okay, which is equal to, what is the outgoing torque? Okay, outgoing torque will be equal to what? This one. We'll write first for J1 and then after that B1. So what will the torque equation for J1? Torque equation for J1 will be equal to J1 into d2 theta 2 T by dt square, okay, plus B1 d theta 2 by dt, okay, plus what is the another one, another element which is connected? See, B1 is over B2. B2 is connected between theta 2 and theta 3. So what will the equation, torque equation for this one? That is equal to B2, okay, d by dt of what? That is equal to theta 2t minus theta 3t, right? Okay, then plus, okay, which one is left here? See that B3, okay, this one, which is theta 3. So B3 into d theta 3 by dt. So I'll write that equation okay, B3 into d by dt theta 3 of t, right? Right. So this is the nodal equation at node 2. Similarly, what is the nodal equation at this one, theta 3? So that is total incoming torque must be equal to total outgoing torque. Okay. So total outgoing torque is here. That is equal to Z2 and then this B3, or even you can consider this one here also. Okay, so instead of considering here, I'll consider this because this is directly connected to this one. So my equation will be at theta 3. Okay, what will the equation? So see, I'll this one don't consider here. So at nodal equation at theta 3 node will be total incoming node will total incoming torque will be equal to B2 d by dt theta 2 t minus theta 3 t is equal to what? B into d theta 3 of t by dt plus what is that equation? Basically, see that which are the connected nodes? J2 and B4. So J2, what will the equation for J2? Z2 into d2 theta 3 by dt square plus what is the last one? Last one is B4. So B4 into d theta 3t by dt. So I'll write here B4 into d by d theta 3 by dt. So that will be the total equation of at node 3, right? So in this way, you can write the nodal equation of given rotational mechanical system, and then by solving that one, you can easily find out the transfer function. So this finishes our rotational mechanical system, okay, translational mechanical system, and electrical system. Now in tomorrow's lecture, we will study how to find out the analogy between electrical system and mechanical system, and then how to draw the analogous circuit. So that we will study in our tomorrow's lecture. So today we'll stop here. If you have any question, you can ask freely. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Yes, please. Okay, whatever I'm writing, is it visible to you clearly? This is my first experiment of writing this one.